Yeah, going with that. Now looking at your resume as a Hoya, you did everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you did what you set out to accomplish. You wanted to go to school. You wanted to win. Winning is what you're about. You did that. You won Big East title, regular season. You won Big East tournament championship, and you reached your Final Four. That's all a part of your legacy at Georgetown. So, hats off. You know what I'm saying? That's a major accomplishment to set that as a goal in the midst of transferring. You know what I'm saying? You know what's the projection of kids that transfer and really have a successful, you know what I'm saying, a successful career afterwards, after they transfer? I wonder what that is, percentages. I don't know if it's too high, but that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Just in itself, to have that on your resume. You probably forgot that he won the biggest regular season title. That was our
No, twice. Two of them.
My bad.
Two of them.
Two times. Okay. So yeah, like you said, it was a conscious thought for you when you decided to transfer that legacy. Am I right?
Oh, definitely. And so for me, like I said, when I came to Georgetown, I knew my dad. I knew who my dad was. I knew how great he was at school. But I knew going into it that there were some things at the school he had not been able to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And winning a back-to-back regular season Big East championship was one of the things that he was not able to do when he was in school over his 4 years. And I knew going into it, that was my goal, to be able to accomplish something at the school that he hadn't accomplished. And so, I don't know if y'all need to talk to DeJuan Summers, because I was so pressed my senior year to win back-to-back regular season Big East titles so I could hang it over my dad's head, because I knew I wasn't going to get to the Final Four. I knew we weren't going to win get to the Final Four 3 times. I knew we weren't going to, all the accolades that my dad got. I wasn't going to be National Player of the Year. I wasn't going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. But I wanted to be able to have something that I could hang over his head for the rest of his life.
Bring to him, right?
Exactly. So I got to be able to sit at the table, man. I got to be able to sit at the table and be like, yo, I did this, and you did it.
Right. Now, I hear that. He got to respect that. Hey, Big Coach, you got to help us try to get Big Coach on, man. We would love to have him on here.
Definitely.
Give him his flowers and stuff while he's around. And, obviously, we are big supporters of Georgetown basketball. If anybody know that. So you realize this team had potential. I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have been. So the time when you're coming into high school, when you're coming into college, me and Free were in high school.
Yeah,
I'm losing to him every week, and
you can't be talking about the Maffa like that, man. The Maffa ain't that good.
Got the shirt on. He still got.
I represent both.
So, at that time, we battling. We got our own battle. You figuring out Georgetown. You figuring out what you want to do and all this stuff. But in the DMV, I was trying to figure out how we gonna beat Austin Freeman and DeMatha Staggs. You know what I'm saying? Right. That was my main goal. And at the same time, Georgetown was coming back. I remember my freshman year, Coach Thompson came to one of our open gyms, recruit me. He came to open gym. Oh yeah, Chris, this is Coach D, my high school coach. This is Coach Thompson, all that stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of played him. I ain't, Georgetown might have won about 7 games, 8 games. I ain't going there, I want no problems, man. What's up, brother? How you doing? But I'm about to go get some work in. That's how it was at that time. So then the sophomore year comes, get a little better. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, taking out Duke. JJ Redick got 40, and the gym is packed. Next thing you know, you starting to see the fans and the gray out in the city. You starting to see sprinkles, like somebody's on I'm serious, I remember this.
I was on the Metro bus now. You see pictures of the Metro bus and all that stuff now. So
as news anchors are doing stuff in the street, you see somebody ride past in a bike with a little gray out shirt on. I'm like, okay, Georgetown buzzing. So Georgetown was kind of like coming back around, but it still wasn't big, right? So that's how we were at that time when y'all were trying to come up. So this is sophomore year, junior year of high school, and you are now at Georgetown, And I can honestly say I didn't see the potential for a Final Four.
I didn't either. Not at the time. I saw.
I didn't see it.
That there was a chance y'all was going to be really good, like really good, but not. I didn't see Final Four right there. And
because it was still a lot of development to be done.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at the time, you got to think about it. Like, we didn't have any of those guys who were, McDonald's All-Americans, who were these, quote unquote, 5-star, 4-star elite players coming into their own yet. We had, a guy like Jeff Green, very under-recruited guy, Roy Hibbert, who no one saw him. I mean, if I tell you, I met Roy as a sophomore in high school, and when he had already committed to Georgetown, I was like, ain't no way this dude going to Georgetown. He's horrible.
No way.
He could barely. I remember the first time I played Roy, I dunked on him the first play of the game, and I looked at him and said, "You ain't going to Georgetown." Like, with an attitude and everything. Roy hated me, bro. Roy hated me. I was like, ain't no way this kid going to Georgetown.
Right.
But to see that the development that he made from the first time I seen him, or even the first time I saw him on campus as a freshman at Georgetown, to where he became that junior year when we made it to the Final Four, it was crazy. But like a guy like John Wallace, no one knew who John Wallace was. John Wallace was ready to go to Princeton. He was about to go to Princeton. He only went to Georgetown because Coach Thompson switched and told him to come with him.
Right.
So like, we didn't have those guys who were elite. And for me to even say that I thought that we would make it to a Final Four would be crazy, because I say it, I always say that's my goal. And it is always my goal, but to
you believe it for real, but you was going to do what you had to do to get there.
I mean, definitely. And I think that's what was part of, I don't think if you ask anybody on our team that year, especially at the beginning of the year, the way we started, we started out like 3-4. Like, we weren't playing great basketball. Right. And to see the change from our mentality to, like, there was a time where we didn't lose a game for like a month straight. Right. And this is in conference play.
What happened? What clicked?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, we had a group of guys leave, and I don't think it was the group of guys that were holding us back at all. I just think that they weren't happy with their roles, and they left. And then, then Dewan comes into the starting lineup, and now he's starting to pick his game up. I see more minutes for me, so I start picking my game up. Jeff's dominant the whole year. John don't miss a shot in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I think guys started to see their roles pick up, and they're like, all right, we can do this. And then we started clicking. And then I think what we really started to do is we started to believe in coach. We started to believe in the system. Right. And we were seeing results. And when you see results, that's when things start to click. I mean, we were winning. I mean, y'all know, as much as we hated them practices.
I couldn't stand it.
Look, man, you walk into the gym, it's bright outside. Birds is chirping, you remember how we had the little window at the top in the back of the gym, and you'd be like, you look at the window, it's like a sundial, like, boy, it's about 8:15, and we about to leave the gym. We're not even finished yet. Like, we could tell what time it was by looking at us like almost like a sundial.
Right.
But
boy, we used to be in there, boy. I used to be trying to make it.
Man.
Especially my freshman year with y'all. I ain't gonna lie, boy. It was like
we was in there forever.
You sitting over there
forever, but hey, look, I feel like we was 4 hours every time. I don't think it ever felt that we was in the gym for less than 4 hours.
Yeah.
But like, we really started to believe in our practices, and like, even though, and y'all know, like, our practices at Georgetown, they're pretty much the same every day. It's very repetitive, and once we started to believe in that, we started to see things kind of just take off. Right. And we were winning games. We're beating teams. I mean, like, Louisville at the time had like 7 NBA players on the team.
Yeah.
And we handling them, like,
right,
handling them. And
you guys were together for years. You started from, they kind of, especially with John and Jeff and Tyler and Roy, they started together. You know what I'm saying? And they really went through it together. By the time it was your junior year, your year, while y'all were there, it was like everything you knew. You had been through the ropes.
Definitely.
You experienced everything.
And I think one of the good things about that, like, especially with my group, was that we challenged each other. Like, even though it might not have been like a vocal challenge, but like, we definitely challenged each other. Like, if I wanted to go get shots up, I was like, yo, Tyler, I'm gonna get some shots up. You want to come? And Tyler like, yeah, I'm gonna come get these shots, but I'm gonna call Jeff and John. We're gonna get shots up together, and then we're gonna call Roy, see if Roy want to get this work in too. And we always did that, and we held each other accountable. And like, I think that was one of the things that helped build us back to where we were, and got us all to where we ended up playing, because we believed in each other too. And I think that was, one of the biggest things as far as us moving forward and getting better over that course of that year.
So you guys and me and Free, we always talk, we came the same year. So we our chemistry is on a whole nother level when it comes to basketball, everything. We just know each other. Just like you guys do, we have our chemistry, and we talked about this. And so, and we saw that with y'all because even to this day, y'all are like,
Yeah, y'all tight.
y'all each other's shadows, in a good way. They show love to each other, and that's a good thing. So I would say that you guys really enjoyed playing for JT3 and enjoyed and embraced that system and embraced that what that represented for us.
We definitely did, and I think part of that had to do with the fact that we won. I mean, I feel like if we didn't win games and I wasn't starting, I'd have been pissed off. But because we were winning and everything, it makes everything better.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that was a big component to it. I mean, we're winning games and we're getting along, and winning masks a lot of things. Right. I mean, and I'm sure there's something we can talk about later, but my senior year wasn't the greatest year, but we were winning games. And I tell people all the time, like, the vibe I got my junior year versus the vibe I got my senior year, I wasn't comfortable with the vibe I got my senior year, from a guy. And we were killing. And we were killing. Like, we was taking down everybody. We won the conference, but the vibe and the feel was a little different.
It was all the way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way off.
Wait, you can speak on that.
I understand what Pat's saying. I mean, I felt the same way. And we're freshmen at the time, so it was really uncomfortable for us at the time because it was like, yeah, we was winning, but it was just like, are we happy that we winning? It was like, oh, we winning, all right, we should step off. But like, you could just tell like we were clicking, but we weren't clicking.
Definitely.
So.
And I mean, like, to me, it kind of started. I know for me, it started after the season, my junior year, when Roy and Jeff both declared for the draft, which was, I was like, yeah, both of them gone. People got to step up. I got to be one of the people who steps up. I definitely saw, both of them going in the top 5 of the draft. So when Roy decided to come back, I was like, damn, like, there go some of the minutes that I wanted. I'm not going to be able to.
You wanted Roy out of there.
I mean, as a person who I saw myself as a pro.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So many balls, and in our system, like, our look was our first 3 looks are for Roy. You know what I'm saying? And which I didn't mind it, but at the same time, I know I wanted to get to the next level, and I knew,
right.
If you look at people's stats, if you look at stats and stuff like that, I wasn't gonna have stats like Roy was gonna have if Roy was in the offense.
Right.
The ball's not gonna be in my hand as much if Roy's in the offense.
Right.
So, selfishly, I wanted Roy to stay in the draft. Unselfishly, I was happy he came back because I knew we had a chance to be really good again. And so when he decided to come back, I was like, all right, man, I got to remember, I got to take the back seat again. But like, Jeff's spot's still open. So I got minutes right there. Right. And so, I go into the season with the same mindset, and it just never felt right because I feel like everyone kind of had agendas. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like my junior year, I didn't feel like everyone had agendas, at least not most of the guys that didn't have agendas.
Right.
But it's natural for everyone to have an agenda. Everyone wants to get to the pros, especially when you're playing on a high profile D1 team. Like, everyone's trying to get there.
Yeah,
especially after y'all just went to the Final Four too, though. So
no, definitely. And it was, it's funny, right? So I tell Sap was my roommate on the road that year, and as probably unjust as this would have been, had we won the national championship, I think all of us would have put our name in the draft, me included, coming off the bench. I was like, I don't see it getting much better for me here as far as a professional basketball career goes. We win a national championship, I'm gonna put my name in and see what they're saying.
Right.
If school was like it is now, I'd put my name in every year. Every year. I don't care because it doesn't hurt me.
It doesn't.
I'll go in. I'm gonna see what they talking about. Oh, Pat Ewing might get drafted in the second round. Oh, I might stay in.
I might stay.
I might stay in. But that's the difference between now and then. But like back then, I mean, you could put your name in once or twice, but after that second time, you gotta stay in. And I was like, man, it ain't worth it. I ain't gonna get picked. So ain't no point in even listening to any feedback.
Right. Yeah. The vibe was. Everybody knew the vibe was off. but it was a different crop. It was a different group of guys coming in. You know, it was a different style of kids coming in from the time that Coach came in with John, Pat, and you know Tyler. It was a different group. So the type of kids he was getting were more heavily touted kids.
Definitely.
Coming out. So it's a lot more egos. It's a lot more. I'm trying to get to the league right now.
Definitely.
So, and then after D Summers has a great year, you know, he coming back for a sophomore year too. I can see him, you know, I absolutely he wants to, you know, elevate himself after that campaign. And rightfully so. Me coming in, Free coming in, we all Americans and all this stuff, it ticked back. So it was a whole different kind of slew.
Yeah.
And so when it didn't work out for the sense of trying to figure out how we can be individuals, because we all had our individual package that we want to show. I think it really got tough on guys because they started fighting and they started questioning everything, and we just couldn't buy in. You guys were a little bit more stable, a little bit more humble than we were at that time.
But it's different, like you said. Like none of us came in as that highly touted kid. We all knew we were going to be there for 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone in our group kind of knew that.
Right.
I thought that D. Summers should have left after the Final Four. I thought he, you know, as a freshman to have the year that he had and to be the, you know, second, third leading scorer on a Final Four team, he should have put his name in the draft just to see what they were talking about for him.
Right.
For whatever reason, he didn't, you know, and that is what it is. But I definitely thought that I saw him putting his name in the draft that year. And then, you know, Vernon coming in, he was a McDonald's All-American, and he was cool his first year taking a backseat to Roy because he saw what Roy was becoming. So he didn't mind being behind Roy that as a freshman. And then, right. You know, as a sophomore, he thinks Roy's going to leave, and then Roy comes back, and then Roy's, you know, that's Vernon's minutes gone. And then, you know, you two McDonald's All-Americans, you know, we didn't have that. We didn't have that, you know, with that first group of guys that we had in at the time. We didn't have those guys who came in and you were already dogs, and you know, your talent level was clearly there. I mean, and you know, it sucked that, you know, Chris, you was hurt most of that year, but, you know, it was just, you know, you guys, you weren't there to sit back and sit out for a year and learn. That's not why y'all went to school. Y'all came in. Yeah, y'all came in to start. I mean, y'all wanted to play, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want those guys on your team. And I don't necessarily think it was a negative thing, but it just wasn't clicking for us. And even though we won, I mean, shoot, we went 30 and we won like 20 some games that year.
Like, that's the thing. Like you said, like winning mask everything, but like we really were we were beating people though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we had an elite squad. I mean, our squad was, I mean, what we had, like 5 NBA players in that roster still.
Bro, probably everybody played professional basketball on that team.
Oh, definitely.
Everybody.
And like, so but you could just tell, like, and I remember I think it might have been before the Memphis game where I remember I went to coach. I'm like, Coach, yo, I'm just not feeling it. Like, and you know, before Memphis, we was undefeated.
Yeah.
We was undefeated. We about to go play number 2 team in the country. We 2, they're 5. We know whoever wins the game gonna be number 1 next week. Like, but I'm sitting there telling, I'm like, Coach, like, this is not it. Like, there's something that's going on. I can feel it that, you know, we're not going to be that great. I remember after whatever game we played before Memphis, I went out to eat after that game, and I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, don't make plans to go to San Antonio this year unless I'm going to be in the dunk contest or the All-Star game, because I just don't feel like we're going to, as a team, we're going to lose a game that's not going to get it in the tournament, that's not going to get us to where we need to be, even though we're so good. I mean, talent-wise, we were definitely more talented, but I just didn't feel like we had that extra something that we needed that year. And I felt bad saying it because my goal is always to win. And it was crazy because I felt like if we clicked, we could have won a national championship. I feel like that.
What could have, now looking back on it, you know, this is almost 20, I mean, that was 10 years ago? 10 years ago?
2008, 12 years. 12 years ago.
So looking back at now you're on the other side of the game. We, you know, Free is on the other side. I'm still out here hooping. Y'all left me, man. I don't know what's up. My Hoya brothers leaving me. I'm out here to dry. I'm like, God dang, nobody want hoop no more. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with y'all, man. Just now, just thinking about it though, like, how could we have changed that situation? What would have been? What do you guys, both of y'all? What do y'all think would have been the way to make that a successful? Especially you've seen it. We can't speak on that. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of played my position my freshman year because I was hurt and I was going through my own stuff. And as a freshman, with all the leadership we had, I don't need to be speaking up.
Right.
No, definitely. To me, I'm not sure because like I said before, like if you look at the season, we were beating everybody. And then, you know, we win the league regular season. Then we go to the tournament. We get to the finals and really had our chances to beat that Pittsburgh team in the finals.
No, we didn't. Don't lie.
Bro, go watch the tape. Go watch the game. We made a comeback at the end where we cut the lead to about 5 with about a minute and some change left.
How hard we had to work to get to that point.
Yeah, and we had it.
And Big Dawg wasn't on his A game at that time. We weren't going to win that.
We had our chance, dog. We definitely had. We gave ourselves a chance to win it.
Yeah.
But like you said, like you felt like we didn't have a chance to win that game, and that's kind of how I felt like about it the whole year. Where like there was something that was just missing. Where the year before, like if you look at the Carolina game the year before, we was getting smacked, and all of a sudden, bang, we start making plays, and we're not making mistakes. Like everything was going perfect.
Right.
And you felt like that in that moment against Pittsburgh where we didn't have that extra something. And I don't know what that something is.
They were better. They were linked together better than us. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Everybody knew they role. You know that Levance was a general. Ronald Ramon is knocking down everything. He, you know, DeJuan Blair was just that was Aaron Gray.
No, it was DeJuan. It was DeJuan and Sam.
It's Sam, oh my gosh, the pump fake of death. He used to do this pump fake, and everybody thought he was
Jim jump. Everybody jump the bucket.
Camera like go up sometimes.
It was unbelievable that pump fake. And he was in such a sweet spot for himself on that team, Sam Young, that it was very difficult to guard because of the players around him. He became unstoppable. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta think too though, like at the time we had just beat a very good Villanova team. We had beat them. We had beat
West Virginia.
And
my first bucket in Big East play is because of Pat Ewing Jr.
Hey, look, a lot of people first buckets was because of me. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But I ain't gonna lie, you kind of messed me up though, because if I had some time, I might have tried to dunk it. But so what happened was, wait. You got the rebound, and I'm kind of ahead. You know, I'm trying to get a bucket. I'm kind of ahead. You launched the ball, son. Throw the ball far as I don't know what. I'm like, oh, I just got to catch it and come out and run the play. I'm like, dang, he blew my moment. I could have got a bucket. Sorry. Man, I caught that joint in the corner. Wasn't nobody near me. I looked around.
Flash. Man, I remember that joint too.
Why you throw the ball so far? I remember that. Yeah, but we just didn't have the overall chemistry.
Yeah, that was just something. And then if you think about it too, then we go to the tournament and we handled UMBC. Like that wasn't really a tough game, but it didn't feel right. And I don't know if y'all remember this. So I had sprained my ankle in the Big East tournament, and I didn't practice the whole Big East tournament.
Yep.
And I remember like some of the guys on the team were like, dang, Pat, you're not going to practice, but you can play. And I was like, brother, I ain't not trying to practice. Y'all know me. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to practice, play, do the extra workouts and everything. Like, I was about all that basketball. Like, you know, especially I just wanted to be out there. And so we come in and I hadn't practiced, but I played, and then we playing Davidson.
Yep.
And we smacking Davidson. I mean,
that game was over at halftime, low key. It was over at halftime.
Like literally, if you look at the game, you go watch the first half. I mean, you talk about a tale of two halves. Then you like, dang, it was really a tale.
You want to tell us the story? Tell the story?
You gonna tell a story? I'm going to say it.
No, I think you should just tell your story. Tell yourself.
All right. So look, we didn't play a lot that year.
Right.
Well, me personally, because I was injured. you know. So whatever, I ain't play. So I used to sit down and watch a lot. So I became like a coach my freshman year. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting next to D Cox and Kenya Hunter the whole time, and I'm just on the bench. And so when I started to play again, I started to look at the game differently. I ain't gonna lie, because I was hurt. That was the first time I was hurt, so I started to look at the game differently. And I remember sitting on the bench watching Steph Curry when we was playing them in the first half. And he was running off screens, bro. Like, he was running off screens, and we were playing great defense. Like, everything was going according to plan, but he was just literally running the routes of the plays.
Yeah.
And literally was like, shaking his head like, yeah, okay, all right, The little point guard, Jason Richard, and then
Rich was cold too.
He was tough. And then a big man was on his game. Lovedale was on his game. He just playing hard. And I remember, so look, it's halftime, right? We up. It's halftime. We going, it's halftime, and I'm sitting next to Free. And I tell you, I'm a freshman. I ain't trying to say too much, but I kind of said it to Free. I said it low. I was like, yo, this is the truth. I was like, yo, we got to stay on Steph Curry, man. I think he's figuring out what we trying to do on defense.
But I hear him, though. I hear him right there. He's right there.
He gonna love just talking some trash again.
All right, man. All right, man. We up. We was up what?
Almost like 20. Yeah, we was up 20.
Get somebody here, man. Whatever, man. We about to go ahead. Get this. We going to the third round, whatever, man. But
hey, Doug, I saw it with my own eyes because I was watching him the entire time. It's the only way they could beat us is him. It was nobody else that could beat us. And I watched it the entire time. The entire first half, I was like, yo, he kind of figuring out. He just going with the pattern. The next thing you know, boom. Do you want to say what happened, Free, with changing momentum? Do you remember what changing momentum?
Nah.
Was it the 3 straight buckets he had?
No, when we wanted to press. We broke.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So this is what happened. All right, so they're pressing us, right?
Yeah.
And we're throwing it ahead to Dewan. And it was like maybe 3 possessions.
We got quick shots.
It was a 2-on-1. Him, Roy, and Lovedale. And Dewan like veered out every time to like run the offense type thing.
You don't remember that? Oh my God.
He'll throw it ahead and he'll like start attacking and then he'll just like come like back it out. And then we'll run the offense again.
Which ain't Dewan either. Like when you said it, my first thought was quick shot. Like that's Dewan's in attack mode.
Right. And that's what threw me off.
It was 2-on-1, 3 possessions in a row.
I'm like, go attack, and we came out into our spots.
Yeah.
I never forget that, man. And the next thing you know, Chef Curry started doing the chef. He started doing his
crazy, man.
And it was tough because, especially in that game, you want Big Dog to like take over, and he was in foul trouble most of that game, and it just wasn't his night. And for us, for the most part, when Roy wasn't rolling,
we weren't rolling.
It was hard because he was option 1, and there was no one on any team that could really guard Roy. So we just relied on that so much. And then so like when Roy's not rolling, it's like, all right, who's next? And we had guys that could go, but if you're not comfortable in that moment, especially if you haven't had a shot in 5-6 minutes, it's hard to get going. And
I think that was one of our biggest problems on our team.
Right.
Especially our sophomore year for sure. But
everything got
freshman year, I think that was another thing. Like if you didn't get a shot for, a couple possessions here, like it was like the next time you touched the ball, like you was looking. Yeah. Like if it was either in the offense or like you just breaking it off type thing. Like that type of thing that would kind of like was screwing up our vibe or our rhythm sometimes because Bama would just be like, all right, man, whatever. If I get this ball, I'm gonna shoot it. Because I know I did. If I ain't touched it a couple of times, I was looking to shoot the ball. So
and that's why I used to love when Coach would let me run the offense. Like I'd be like, Coach, if I'm in, just go 1, 2, 2, put me at the top. I'm gonna get everyone. I wanted to get everyone involved because I knew that was our best option was to have everyone. Because we had, if you look at our roster, everybody on our team could score. Everyone. I was probably our least talented shooter on our roster. But I knew how to get guys the ball where they could score. And so, like...
No, least talented shooter was not you. We're not going to name no names, but it was not.
It was...
Out there.
But I definitely I wanted to facilitate for guys. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was, especially by that time of that point of the year, I definitely wanted to be that guy I wanted the ball in my hand so I could make something happen.
I'm going to keep it real, Pat. I'm going to keep it real. When the flow of talent grew to where we had it at, to that point, you know what I'm saying? Even after your senior year, the game had to change.
Oh.
That's my opinion on it. It had to change. We had too much talent ready to just, just polish them up and make practice tough and keep them, that type of situation. I think because of that, it never panned out for anybody. You know what I'm saying? In the way that we all would like to do. Because you should have been flown.
For me, so first of all, I always want to say y'all sophomore year team is the most disappointing team in the world to me because y'all had everything. Yeah. Y'all had everything. I mean, y'all should have been at least in the Elite 18, in my opinion. I mean, looking at the roster, the players that y'all had, the talent level, y'all had it. I mean, y'all really did have it. But, and I told people this when I first came back after I retired, that if we ran to Princeton my senior year, your sophomore year and on, the way that coach was running it at the end of his tenure at Georgetown, it would have been crazy. Because to me, when I was in school, we had our bigs were, better, probably more skilled than our guards. Now at the end of my tenure there, my senior year, and then starting to go into my junior year, starting to go into your sophomore year, the guards were really good. Y'all, you, Free, Jay Clark, Markel, DSR, we could rattle off names of guards who were all league guards. Right. Probably the best big we had other than Josh Smith was Moose.
Right.
And so I felt like the way that he started running his system at the end of his tenure there when I first got there would have been tailored perfect for y'all because he's running pick and rolls. He's trying to get up and down more. Y'all would have loved playing in the system at the end of his tenure because,
bro,
he let y'all do everything at that point.
Bro, I was looking at the TV like, God.
I'm talking about guards coming off pick and roll. He letting y'all run off, do the black screens and everything like that. It was crazy. I was like, dang, I like the way this offense goes because it's more suited for, the athletes and the guards to really get busy.
You don't even know. Right after we graduated, they went to Hawaii. They went to China.
Right. They went everywhere.
They played on the ship. We was like, Coach, why don't we just go to South Carolina?
I remember the day he told them they was going to China that year.
Yeah.
Now this is before I think we had a game 2 days after that. He sits us all down. We about to watch film, but he's like, next year we're gonna go to China. We like,
you know how Coach be dropping them little balls.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah, next year we're going to China. Wait, what? Where?
Real Soto, and then look at you, make sure you see if you heard it.
Just dropped it. All right, film. Here we go. So this guy here, wait, hold on, Coach.
Wait, China, wait.
I don't talk about it.
I'm like, hey, we went to South Carolina, man.
What?
Oh,
Orlando, man. We got UTEP when I was there, so at least I got that. We got freaking UTEP.
And when them boys is playing on the ship, them boys is playing in Puerto Rico. Oh my God.
Yeah. They did some of everything.
Question.